All right, and we are back. Sorry about that, guys. We had technical issues in the studio. The power went out on us, so we had to get things back up and running. We are back where we started. We have the Star Wars story that we were covering with the Acolyte. If you are seeing this if you were seeing this after the live stream is done, go ahead and go over to part 1 just to get caught up on where we started the stream. But just to recap, Star Wars Acolyte Episode 3 came out last week. We have been recapping that and some of the issues regarding the Star Wars universe and just expanding on my take, which is that Star Wars is a dead brand. And Slim, maybe you're going to try to convince me that Star Wars is salvageable.
No. I think they can come out with some good stories. Like I've said before, I like the animated stuff. That's all doing well. The Mandalorian's kind of falling off, but that did well for a couple of seasons at least. People still kind of do really like that stuff, so I'm not going to dog on that because enjoy what you like. But this is, I don't really enjoy this. I don't know if I will continue. I might for a couple more episodes for the Acolyte, but I just feel like it's poor story writing, in my opinion.
I think if the Acolyte videos on our channel do well, like if we get like 10 likes on the Acolyte videos on our channel, I'll continue to watch it so that we can keep talking.
Maybe we'll wait like a couple episodes and like try to do something. But yeah, there's such good like theories with it or like such good concepts, but I just feel like they're either rushing it or I don't know what's going on.
Honestly, the story is weird. Like it's going to be only an 8-episode series.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
So it's going to be an 8-episode series. So by episode 3, we are almost halfway done with the story. Now, we're getting a lot covered though. Like you got first off, this is a very predictable script. You have the evil twin and you have the good twin. You have the older mentor figure, the conflicted love interest of the like knight Jedi. You have the comic relief character. You have the comic relief droid that's in the story. So you have all the staples of a Star Wars story.
Yeah, basically.
It's a little frustrating to have such a like predictable script, such a predictable story. I do like that they are killing off Jedi, that they are killing off characters that are supposed to be intriguing and interesting.
Yep.
Because Disney typically will stand away from like killing off characters if they can avoid it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's actually I think that being able to kill off characters is a strength in writing. Now, to be fair, the Jedi that they gave us that they killed off each had collectively maybe 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
And maybe 5 lines between the pair of them.
Yep.
So it's not, and the next one to die is going to be a Wookiee. So we don't even know if we're going to have the dialogue with him.
Yeah.
Definitely not one we'll understand.
That's for sure.
Except with exposition. But the directing is pretty garbage. One thing that actually got me kind of optimistic as the show started in episode 1, the choreography and the fight scene. I actually liked the fight scene in the first scene.
I remember I said that last week. I was like, the fighting was good, and like that, like actual acting wasn't bad. It was just like kind of the direction they were taking it, and
it's the plot.
The CGI was terrible.
Yeah, I appreciate that. They haven't shown us a single white character yet, except
the one old Jedi.
The one Jedi, but he was killed really quickly for being a bad dude, and he was forced to apologize. So it's like, I'm so sorry for being white.
Dead.
Yeah, it was a bad day for him. All he was doing was minding his own business, meditating. Alone. No, so do you think this is actually going to be the launching off point for a new spew of Star Wars stories that have the Force as being this more ambiguous and completely no strings attached type of story?
Well, unless no threads attached.
No threads attached.
Yeah.
The Force is a thread.
And I think unless they get even if they do, but even unless they get like complete backlash saying this is horrible, you're ruining Star Wars, I don't think they back down. But it's got to be like a really bad backlash. I think if they just get a minor one, like they have throughout the years with some other stuff, I think they'll keep doing stuff like this. I don't think it's going to go away. It's
interesting that you bring that up, because with the Star Wars Acolyte, we got a 15% audience score post episode 3. So this is
some good numbers.
So just to refresh, keep it current, make sure we're talking.
I hope it goes down.
15. Yeah, if it went down to like 12%. So this only yesterday, so only Friday the 14th of June, it was at 17%. So just overnight, it dropped 2%. And honestly, I was expecting it to be and hover around like the high teens.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to get to almost. I mean, this is
even-
not far away from single digits.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was that bad. I remember you and I just discussed it before we started this. You thought it was around a 3 or a 4, and I think it's around like a 4 as well. It's not the worst thing I've seen. I want to continue it. It's not like Velma, you know.
Oh, Velma was impossible to watch a second
I couldn't
episode
even
of.
watch that. It just was. But
I-
I don't think this is a 15%. I think people are backlashing and there's ratioing it on because of it. I don't think it's actually 15.
You don't think this is like a? You don't think this is like a genuine, from the heart reaction to the absolute twisting, contorting, and corruption of the George Lucas story
I think
intentionally?
I think it is a bit, but that doesn't. It's tough to say, man.
Because you recognize that this is fundamentally like almost the antithesis of like what Lucas was putting together
is,
as far as
yeah.
like what he was creating.
It
I'm not
is.
saying there shouldn't. I'm not saying there shouldn't be an expanded. I'm not saying there shouldn't be exploration into the further systems from the Republic and figure out what's going on out there, and for Disney to maybe use that as a way of doing it. And even with this, it's like the thread. It's like.
Yeah.
You're just having like these people who are far away from all of this information just saying it's a different thing.
Yeah, I think if they went about it and didn't make these two twins children of the Force, I bet that number gets doubled.
Yeah,
I think that's what people are disliking it for.
I think
Or
so.
like not only, but you know what I mean.
I think that's a big part of it too.
Yeah,
And
I bet it goes up to 30, if not 40, because it just taints what the whole 6 movies were about. The first 6, you know.
So in the very beginning of the show, so this isn't really a spoiler. 15 minutes in, you're gonna know what this is. But the evil twin is going around trying to kill off Jedi. That's just her thing. She
Yep.
gets off on that.
It's her thing.
Then you have the good twin who's just innocently being a mechanic in space. You know, they had a silly name for it that was kind of dumb. They couldn't just say mechanic. That was they call him Menix or whatever.
Yeah, I forget.
Yes,
name.
something
Forget
stupid
the-
like
yeah,
that.
It was dumb.
And and then they have so then they think that the good twin is the one committing the crime, so they go to arrest her. And the Jedi Council the Jedi Order is all like, we need to arrest her quickly. Like, we need to make an example of her, bring her to justice.
Yeah.
And I'm just they're talking about this. And what's the like, San or whatever? What's the the Asian Jedi? What's his name? What's that?
I can't remember the top of my head.
God damn it! I can't believe
Cast
I'm gonna
and crew.
cast and crew. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Okay.
Show more.
Show more. And, yeah, more cast and crew. So
Shit.
yeah, this didn't work. This was a bust. No, the
Anyway, that guy.
So this actor was like an older, almost adoptive father, you could say,
Yep.
type of mentor to Osha, who is the good twin. And he's saying like, hold on, maybe we should think about this. I don't believe she actually did it.
Yep.
I don't suspect her. And they're like, you shouldn't let your feelings cloud your judgment. And I'm just sitting here thinking like,
Isn't that exactly what you guys are doing?
well, and isn't patience, like, shouldn't you be exercising patience as a Jedi? Like, why are you rushing to get someone convicted?
yeah.
It's like, oh, we haven't seen that in real life before.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, we don't have any parallels to draw there.
Yep.
It's like, patience. No, it's frustrating that you have this writing that centers on them wanting to use the Jedi Code in order to progress the narrative forward
Yeah.
and have these conversations that point to guilt, when actually so many of like the Jedi philosophies that masters should know
Yeah.
point to the inversion of how they should be behaving.
Why not have, and you know, this is just my point of view, but why not have like these young Jedi come in and act like this, and like, we need to bring her in and all that, and then like they bring her to the temple about to convict her, and like the master or Jedi, like the Yoda of the group comes in, what are we doing here? We are not following the order. We're not following our rules and regulations. Where's our patience, you know, and correct them. You can have a learning moment for the good guys.
Well, and where is Yoda? Like, this story only took place like 300 years before the Clone
shouldn't
Wars.
he be there? He's
Yoda
like
was
800 years old, isn't he?
He was when 900 years old.
Yeah.
Feel as good, you will not.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, by the time he's dead, he's like almost 1,000 years old. He should still be like at least teenage Yoda at this point.
Yeah.
Like where's Grogu?
Yeah.
So I think that I think the writing in this show was pretty awful. The premise was fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make like a good and evil twin and have them at opposite ends of this conflict, have a mentor
concept.
come in. The problem is that the universe they're using to pull this off in, they're also trying to insert their own identity politics into it through the lesbian witch coven that they have going on, the immaculate conception of the twins, which was just meant to like totally take away from Anakin Skywalker's story.
Yeah.
And then you have just the fundamental like misusage of like the narrative elements of the Star Wars universe, like how the Force behaves or like how the Jedi are supposed to interact with each other.
Yep.
There's so much to dog on this show that it's almost low-hanging fruit, but it is the issue is that Star Wars wants to keep like Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headband want to keep attacking the audience and keep attacking the fans. And in my mind, I'm just sitting here and I'm just kind of taking it because I don't care about Star Wars as like a franchise anymore. Like, I'm watching this to keep current on events and make sure that we can talk intelligently about the things that are being like criticized online, give our 2 cents to it. But if any of these Star Wars shows or movies came out, or I don't care if any of these Star Wars projects have come out since like Disney took over.
Yeah.
Is there a single Star Wars project, or even is there any combination of Star Wars projects in your mind, Slim, that since Disney's taken over have made that transition worth it?
The only one I've liked so far since that was like, season 1 and 2 of The Mandalore, and then The Bad Batch is the only thing I've really enjoyed.
Would you if you had if you could go back and make a yes/no decision on whether or not Disney takes Star Wars,
No,
you would still reject
No,
it,
I
even if it
still
meant
would.
losing those projects?
because I didn't like any of the last 3 movies. 7, 8, 9.
What a clusterfuck
Those are-
that's its own like episode.
7 was fine, but the other 2, no. But no, I wouldn't. I don't think it's for the best.
My main gripe with 7 was ultimately that it was almost a one-for-one ripoff of like A New Hope.
Mm,
Like, you have the super-de-duper Death Star.
yeah,
You have
it was so bad.
the
The
like
bigger Death Star.
yeah, the biggest.
Even though we're a poor empire than the Empire, and we don't have the universe resources. And,
You had to bring Palpatine back because you
Yeah.
couldn't come up with a villain that was worth having.
it's so
You had to whatever the fuck
bad.
Snoke was.
Nothing. He was nothing.
He was
He didn't matter.
Yes, like, I am an ugly man in
He
charge.
didn't matter at all. He instantly got killed too.
Yeah, he was very irrelevant. He's
Don't bring it up.
I won't.
So
Okay,
terrible.
we'll drop that. But Disney is not just getting bad news from the Star Wars acolyte, which obviously, if you're in the comments right now after this is gone and been posted, please let us know what your thoughts on this are, and please let us know what your take is on the 15% audience score. Because if you're someone who's singing this show's praises, help us reconcile how you come to that decision when you are so vastly outnumbered by the audience. Like that, just tell us what your thought process is. We want to understand what about this show feels like Star Wars to you, or are you just happy to have Star Wars be entirely different than what it was? Do you just want Star Wars to have fundamental changes and be entirely different? If that's your argument, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Okay.
Either.
Yeah. Here. Oh, I was gonna tell everyone the other news regarding Disney's bad news. So Gina Carano from The Mandalorian season 2.
She's a badass.
She's a badass. She's awesome. She really is.
She's a UFC fighter.
She
Or
loves
was.
the gamer community, the nerd culture community. She's been on Friday Night Tights before. She's been on a bunch of other programs. She is suing Disney for, I think it's like wrongful termination.
Probably.
And the Disney tries to get it dismissed, but the judge is going to let Gina Carano move forward with it. And I'm not sure if people remember this. This lawsuit is being funded by Elon Musk. Elon Musk is backing
right.
Gina Carano's lawsuit.
I remember that now.
So this isn't just a one-tier, like, oh, a judge lets this thing move forward. No, Disney is getting their head kicked in because they just keep behaving like absolute shitbags. These people suck so hard. They want to convert, twist, manipulate, corrupt all of these projects and franchises. They want to ruin. I don't understand like what the perfect future Disney wants to see is. Like, do you think that if you just completely ruin these franchises, that you'll sway all of these old loyalist fans to your cause?
Yeah, it's making it worse for them.
Are they comfortable just losing the audience? Are you like, do you just not want these fans around? Because everything you say just emphasizes pure contempt for your audience. Nothing but contempt for the old guard of fandom. And it's really weird to me that you could be so comfortable with that and keep taking all of these L's, but you're not even being clear on what like your vision for what Disney is going to be is. You're kind of trying to play it off like we want all these awesome franchises to be widely receptive by everyone. Then you just attack the old guard of the fandom consistently, religiously, like it's your fucking job. It's frustrating as hell, dude. I mean,
and I really liked her in the show, and she did an awesome job. I'm pretty sure the reason she got canned was some tweet or whatever, X, whatever it's called now. I don't think you should ever mask and not have free speech, and I don't think she's wrong in this. I don't know if she'll win this case, but I think you got to know what job you have, your time and your place, and the platform you stand on. Do I think she's wrong and she should have got fired for this? No. But I think you have to be self-aware of your audience and who you're talking to and who you're working for.
Well, and
you can't just say whatever you want whenever you want it if you have a certain job and title and on a certain platform.
If you're wearing someone's uniform, you need to represent that.
Correct.
Now, and that's on your day job. Now, the same, and so I don't know how that translates to like actors whose literal life is their day job. Like they're just a like a mascot for whatever they're doing. But the thing is that Gina Carano was using her platform to speak up against like some pretty awful crap. Because remember, this was like, I believe. Okay, I'm trying to see if I'm wondering if the article is going to go back to like the original thing.
That's why I'm like, I can't remember what she said, and I was like, I don't want to go off saying like I know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm confident that it goes something like this. It had something to do with the fact that you had all of these people like discriminating against conservatives in Hollywood, and I think it was also kind of playing on the fact that you had all the lockdowns going on simultaneously. I mean, and I think that it was really the comparison of like conservatives being like treated like the victims from World War II. You know?
Yeah.
That was the thing. And honestly, it's oh wait, here we go. Is motion added the okay, yeah. It's when Carano admittedly reposted on Instagram a post comparing criticisms to politically conservative viewpoints to the Holocaust in Nazi Germany. So yeah, that's what we were talking about when it comes down to Gina Carano being absolutely wrecked from Disney. And Disney's probably going to lose this one because I think Disney's going to lose this one because regardless of what I don't think she was fired for just that post. That's what they said. But if Gina Carano was like practicing conservative perspectives in Disney, that would explain a lot more. Like if she culturally didn't fit with Disney, that would explain more of like why she was gone than say like if she just said one thing on Twitter. Because most of the time when people say the wrong thing on Twitter, their PR team just says, take it down, get rid of it, get that gone, hide it, nuke it from the internet, just don't acknowledge it, pretend it didn't happen.
That was on a fishing hook. It's stuck in her, so I gotta go get that out.
Okay. Guys, we only were able to really talk about Star Wars today. Slim has an emergency. Again, Cody's not feeling well, so unfortunately we're going to have to wrap it up there. A little bit of chaos today on the podcast, but I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you did like this video and you like the conversation, you want to engage with us, post something in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on all of this. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and share the video out there, and go tell your stories.